Om Namah Shivaya. We shall listen to the continuation of the discourse on religion that had spread the world over. I shall now come to the example which I wanted to give. You must have heard of the story of Adam and Eve in Hebrew religion. There was such a thing as tree of knowledge. It was Lord's commandment that the fruit of the tree should not be eaten. Adam obeyed it and did not eat it, but Eve ate it. Then Adam also ate it, thinking, whatever happens to Eve, let it happen to me. This is in the Genesis of the Old Testament. It is one of our Upanishad truths that has taken the form of this story. When this happens due to change in place and time, it got distorted to the extent that the original truth itself is lost. What does the Upanishad say? There are two birds sitting on the peepal tree. One eats the people and the other keeps looking on without eating, says the Upanishad. The body is that tree. In that tree, one thinks himself to be Jivatma and eats the fruit, that is, the experiences through the senses. He is one bird. In the same body, there is Paramatma as another bird. He is the one who moves Jivatma to act, but he does not move. He keeps looking at the action of the Jivan and remains a witness. Although he is the support to the Jiva, he does not experience through the senses, does not eat the fruit, and does not experience the fruits of action. The Upanishad explains this in a poetic manner with the metaphor of the birds and the fruits. One who eats is the Jivan, one who does not eat is the ultimate truth, one who has realized that he is the Atma. It is this Jivan who has become Eve in the Hebrew religion. Ji becoming E is according to a rule of grammar. It is common that the words of the Ja series become words of Ya series. This is how Yamuna became Jamuna, Yoginder became Joginder, Jiva became Eve, Atma became Adam, people became apple. The tree of knowledge is our Bodhi tree. Bodham means knowledge. It is known to everyone that Buddha attained jnana under the Bodhi tree only. But even before Buddha, the peepal tree was called the Bodhi tree. When Upanishad took a new form after a long time in a distant land, its basic import, Tatparya, got changed by saying that the Atma, which can never subject itself to sense experience, ate the apple. The story in the Bible takes a different turn. While our Bodhi tree represents the knowledge in which all sensual pleasures get annulled, they have said that the worldly knowledge of sensual experience is the tree of knowledge. Even so, are we not getting evidence for the fact that our Vedic religion was there in ancient times? Only if I give another example, you will believe that the original will undergo major change in another country, in another time, or that even if it has changed, the changed thing will still show off the original. Our Tirupavai and Tiruvambavai are not as ancient as the Vedas. According to researchers, they may be about 1500 years old. In any case, both Manikavasagar and Andal, who had composed these, belong to a period much later than Vedas and Itihasas. Much after that time, Hindu empires came up beyond the seas. Even the Chola kings of Tamil Nadu had extended their rule beyond the seas. But what is more important to be mentioned is the trade and commerce that took place across the seas rather than the invasions by the Cholas. Our foreign contact grew through trade and commerce. In many countries, people were attracted to the Hindu civilization by their contacts with our merchants and adopted several features of our religion. The countries of the Far East must be specially mentioned in this context. Countries like Pali became wholly Hindu. Cambodia, Siam, which is now called Thailand, Indochina, and Philippines came under the influence of Hindu culture. That is referred to as Shri Vijaya Empire. So, in very ancient times, Vedic religion was in all places. That was one stage. Then the next stage was that new religions came up here and there. Then these new religions declined and only Christianity, Islam, and Buddhism spread in these places. Then, during the period about which there is historical evidence, Hindu civilization again came to life in several countries, especially the eastern countries. It is during this stage that great temples like those of Tamil Nadu came up in Ankarwad, Perapudur, Prambanan. It is at this stage that our Tirupavai and Tiruvambavai went to Siam, now called Thailand. As evidence of this, even now, every year, when we recite these holy texts during the Tamil month of Margashirsh, a big festival is celebrated there. Just as the two Pavais, Tirupavai and Tiruvambavai, bring together Saivism and Vaishnavism, in this festival, see in Siam, a person dressed like Shiva is made to sit on a jula, swing, and Dolotsavam is performed. Dolotsavam is usually performed for Vishnu, but if it is asked whether they know anything about the two Pavais, they just do not know anything. If that be so, simply because that festival takes place in Margadi, it can be argued that this alone cannot be the basis for linking it with the Pavai. The reason why I say like this is that they call this festival itself as Triampavai, Tripavai. Those who read the Bible now do not know anything about the Upanishads, but they know the story that came from it. Similarly, although the people of Thailand have completely forgotten the chanting of Tirupavai and Tiruvambavai, the Dolotsavam festival they conduct in the same Dhanurmas, Margashirsh, for the person dressed as Shiva still retains its name as Triampavai, Tripavai. If such a change could have occurred within the span of recorded history, would not things have got distorted 3 or 4,000 years ago in foreign lands? Despite so much change, the symbols of Vedic practices still show themselves up as if calling out, "We are here." If symbols of our religion are to be found even among the Adivasis of prehistoric period, what does it mean? If it is suggested that Indians had invaded or went trading to these distant lands in such remote times when there was no civilized life there and then spread our culture there, it would not be appropriate. That is why I think it was not carried from here and introduced there, but in ancient times only Vedic religion prevailed all over the world. Later, they would have got distorted again and again and now came to be considered as the original of those countries. And then religions like Christianity, Buddhism, Islam of the period known to the history must have spread. Om Namah Shivaya. In the next post, we shall see the discourse on the unique features of our religion. Om Namah Shivaya. Har Har Shankara, Jai Jai Shankara, Kanchi Shankara, Kamakoti Shankara.